Everybody, Stephen Covington at SRC Airshows here at the Tyler Rose City Air Fest. Just gonna do a little walk around video of my Pitts Raptor. It's a Pitts S2S. This plane was originally built in 1980. It was one of 17 factory built planes, but it's still considered an experimental. They made this one in the exhibition category, and this is number 11. In 2014, this plane was 100% rebuilt and a lot of changes to it. I'm gonna go over some of those changes. And a lot of you probably have seen the normal Pitts, so I'm gonna show you the changes on this one. We'll start at the front. The carbon fiber spinner with a Whirlwind propeller. I put this on a couple years ago, and man, I'll tell you what, the rate of climb went up a bunch with this thing. So this is a really neat addition to the airplane. You get that loud cracking sound, the tips breaking the sound barrier, and makes a lot of noise. It's a real cool propeller. Walk around here, so from firewall forward on this airplane, everything has been changed. It's a full Wolf firewall forward. So we got the Wolf cowling, we have Wolf landing gear on it, wheel pants, the motor mount, everything has been changed on this airplane, and all that has been done to be able to achieve the higher speeds and better cooling. You notice we don't have any of the bungees in here anymore, so we get rid of some of the drag. The Pitts has enough drag as it is, so you try to get rid of as much as possible. Right up in here, this is where all the air comes in for this cowling. Bunch of baffles in there, jams the air right in. Does a really good job. My temps usually, even when I am beating the mess out of this airplane, my cylinder head temps usually stay under about 425, even towards the end of my act. So the motor is a Lycoming 540. It's highly modified. We have high compression pistons, knife edge crank, aftermarket camshaft, cold air intake, 6-into-1 exhaust, poured and polished cylinders, if I didn't mention that one. So it's got a lot done to it. It's pushing just under 400 horse. So this isn't your normal 2,000-hour TBO engine. So it pushes this little 1,000-pound bird in the air pretty good. Moving back here. So these are actually still the original wings from Pitts, but what was done is they've been blocked and beefed up, and plywood leading edges. So you do the plywood leading edges, which you can't see, but all these edges have been changed so that we can bring the V&E speed up a lot higher on this plane, so that we can achieve the higher speeds in the dives. It's a lot stronger that way too. All the wings have been blocked, so it's stronger too. Come around here, there's got a speed slope canopy on it. This canopy was actually pulled off of one of the original Oracle planes, Sean Tucker's plane, and put onto this bird. So all of the fuel tank smoke tanks were actually the original ones out of the Oracle plane too. So there is 5 tanks total up in here, and I have like 45 gallons of fuel I can put in, or I can split it, smoke, oil, and fuel between all the tanks that it has. During my act, I put it's about 12 gallons and about 10 gallons of smoke oil, 12 gallons of gas, 10 gallons of smoke oil. If you get down in here, move some stuff around, you see the panel. It's got an EFIS system, moving GPS, I've got weather, ADS-B, all built into it. It has 3-axis autopilot on it. So when I'm traveling up to Washington State, New York, Florida, wherever I may be going, the nice thing about it is it can fly itself there. It's already uncomfortable enough. V&E on this plane is 250. During my act, I'll see usually 230, 240 in some of the dives. I'll usually pull around a +9 and a -5 Gs during my act. The plane can do a little more than that, but that's about the limit of my act. Next year I'll be doing a new routine that I'll be working up over the winter, so we'll see what we don't get in next year's routine. Now to the back of the plane. So from here back in this airplane, this has all been changed from the original Pitts. This was cut off and all put on. This is the Viper tail. It came off of the Viper Pitts out of Lancaster, Dallas area, Jason Newberg's plane, when he changed up his whole design a few years ago, and they put it on here. So we've got bigger control surfaces, bigger rudder, so we got, a lot more control authority with it. That's pretty much the gist of this plane. She cruises at 175 knots, actually, believe it or not, which is right there with like a V-tail Bonanza, and it's burning about 16 gallons an hour when it does it. So you can get across country, you know, pretty quick, pretty good with this plane. During my act, it burns about 34 gallons an hour. So it's chewing some fuel up during the act. So.
Point out where the tanks are?
Yeah, come on up here. Oh, and one other thing, so these are my air conditioning vents. My little AC vents. This is all I get when I need to cool off, but it does blow directly on me, and there is one on each side. But if you notice, everything on this airplane is to try to get as much drag off of it because it already has enough as it is. So that is also how it achieves the 175 knot cruise speed, is everything is just so slicked off like this, you know, the speed slope, windshield, and everything. Fuel tanks are all right here. So you got a main fuel tank here. We have a header tank right here. Main smoke oil tank or secondary fuel tank here, with another header tank here. Both the header tanks are like 3.5 gallons. And then in the wing, I have a 4.5 gallon tank. So when I go cross country and I go somewhere, all these will get filled with fuel and I can cruise along about 2.5 hours or so and still have my reserve. Again, this is Stephen Covington, SRC Airshows. Make sure you hit us up at srcairshows.com is the website. You can go on there and see pictures, where we're gonna be at. Hit me up on Facebook, SRC Airshows. We're also on Instagram. And you can see where we're at, pictures, things going on during the day. I do live feeds and everything. So hope to see y'all there.
Real love. How about that, ladies and gentlemen? Let's give him a huge round of applause. That's our local neighbor, Mr. Stephen Covington, from just down the road in Longview. Well, that was a knife edge takeoff and climb out. You're going to see him turn around and come back in. You're going to get to see the roll rate. We talked about the roll rate on the T-28 and the F-16 earlier. Watch how fast this aircraft will roll. Absolutely spectacular. Now, this is a highly modified Pitts S2. Number 11 of only 17 that they ever built in this configuration. See Stephen demonstrating the 4-point head and roll when he climbs back up the vertical to the left. The whole tail section of this aircraft has been modified to include a larger front and elevator. Watch that happen, and that is absolutely spectacular. Perfect. He lined up on every rollout. It was exactly